Hi, I'm Rob Pritchard and I'm the sports editor at Manx Radio. For the past few years, the Special Olympics Isle of Man team has captured the hearts and minds of the island, excelling on the national and global stage in numerous competitions in recent times. Well, the start of October saw the Special Olympics football team take on an exciting new challenge as they took part in the Special Champions League in Ghent, Belgium, over 2 days of matches. There, they met and played against disability teams from some of the top clubs in Europe, including Arsenal, Benfica, Juventus and Bayer Leverkusen. Following this memorable experience, our reporter Darren Timpson caught up with the team's coach Pete Corkhill and some of the players to find out just what this experience has meant to them.
To be in that environment where everybody else is like them, and they're on a level playing field, and they're celebrated for who they are, and they get to walk out against teams like Juventus and the Champions League music's blare, and everything was just beautiful.
I saw on your post that you think events like these are really good for helping the guys learn new skills and integrate with other people. What skills do you think they learned? And
it's massive for them. I mean, I think I said to the other reporter I spoke to the other day, the vast majority they haven't had the opportunity to spend time away from their parents. And for a lot of them, it's the first time that they've ever been on holiday without them, for certain. And it's the first time that they've had to be around their mates for prolonged periods of time. And they have to cope with everybody's differences and the things that annoy us about each other, even when they're the best mates that you've got in the world. And they're having to cope and being far more independent sometimes than they would otherwise be. And they're having to make sure that their kit's ready for the next day, and they're having to get along with everybody. They're having to deal with both defeats and victories at the same time and support each other, because everybody was dealing with it differently when things weren't quite going to plan. But you saw as the games go on, everybody start to cope with things a little bit better and also understand how best to support one another as well.
Do you think the challenge to do that is a bit increased when they go to a new country that they've never really been to before, and is there a bit of nervousness going into that? And how well do you think they cope with that? And do you think that's that's a skill in itself that they get used to and they learn?
Yeah, I think there's well, to be honest, when they turn up at the airport to go, there's nothing but absolute bristling excitement from all of them. It's really very lovely. I'm usually inundated with WhatsApp voice recordings in the weeks leading up saying only 14 more sleeps to go. And as that builds up, my phone can be pinging regularly throughout the days and weeks leading up to tournaments. But you're right, as we arrive in the country and everything's a bit uncertain, that they're staying somewhere that they've never stayed before. They might be staying in a dorm room on bunk beds that they've never had to do before. They were away with people that they haven't spent prolonged periods of time with. They're then thrust into a competition against teams that they've never played, some teams that they've never heard of. They're in a country where people are speaking a completely different language to them, and I'm asking them to do things like go and get your own drink from the bar, just go and ask, say merci beaucoup when you're saying thank you to people. And they're tested, but every single time we go away they constantly surprise us with just how mature, grown up, responsible they are. And I said it in the Facebook post as well, they very much are ambassadors for the Isle of Man.
Yeah, it sounds like it was an absolutely amazing trip. How was it meeting people from, I think I saw Arsenal were there, was it Juventus? There were I saw Bayer Leverkusen as well. They're one of the big clubs involved with this. How was it meeting people from other those kind of clubs?
It was fascinating. It was fascinating meeting the coaches as well and understanding that how those disability sides of the clubs are ran and how they are integrated as part of the clubs themselves. Arsenal in particular were very unique. They were Arsenal, they're also known as North London United. They're very, very close links with the club who support them greatly. But they're a wholly Down syndrome team, which I haven't come across before. Generally, the tournaments we've entered has just been pan-disability, so it's any disability right across the board. But this was a wholly Down syndrome team, and they were absolutely terrific sportsmen. They loved every single second of the tournament, and they ended up winning the trophy for the Fair Play Award by the end. But all of our lads made really, really good friends with them. And one of our players, Connor, who has Down syndrome, was just absolutely delighted to see that representation within a football club. And it was lovely. Our captain to the tournament, Ben, agreed to hand over the armband for Connor to lead the team out against Arsenal, which was a really beautiful sight. And Connor was just absolutely buzzing. And I don't know whether you've seen that video of them just getting G'd up in the tent before they walked out onto the pitch, but somebody shouts, "Come on," and then it turns into an absolute frenzy. And you can see just how much sport means. Sport's a brilliant leveller. It doesn't matter your ability, your disability, what level you're playing at. People love sport and people do it because they want to win, they want to be part of a team, and they want to feel a sense of togetherness. And I think events like this, more than anything else, prove that. And it really doesn't matter what level you're at, the passion, the dedication and the joy that came from playing football and from winning together after having a few disappointments was plain to see on all of them.
You alluded to it a few minutes ago, but do you think playing teams, like say Arsenal, Juventus, Bayer Leverkusen, they're all massive clubs, and I'm sure all of the players are huge football fans themselves, but do they feel a bit more of a connect to football when they play against those kind of clubs and, they see people like them?
Yeah, definitely, because I think they're seeing themselves being represented within mainstream clubs from right around Europe. Teams like Juventus are synonymous, aren't they, with being in the top European competitions year on year. I think throughout the 90s, they got to 3 or 4 European Cup finals in a row, and they were so unlucky against Juventus. I think that was the one game where they really, really wanted to win, or really, really wanted to get something out of it. And they went 1-0 down to an absolute perler. It was a top corner, hit the crossbar as it went in, and we clung on. And in the last minute, very, very nearly equalised, and it just went over the bar, and all of them were gutted. It was difficult to pick them back up after that. But naturally, as they do every tournament, they take about 10, 15 minutes of being really disappointed and angry with themselves. But then they just put it to bed, got over it and carried on and enjoyed the rest of the tournament as well.
I'm sure the win over Arsenal must have given them a big lift as well.
Yeah, massively, especially as it was the last game of the tournament as well. It was such a relief for me that they managed to do it. And 3 of the lads managed to get 2 goals, including a lad who's just coming through. He only started playing with us last year and he's only 14 years old, Cameron Siddle. He had to get special permission from the tournament organisers for him to be able to play because he had to be 15, but he does turn 15 next week or the week after. But he scored 2 goals, and he'd been talking about scoring the whole tournament. So he was walking on air basically after he got those 2, and 2 of the other lads scored 2 in that game as well as Ben, who'd scored every goal in the tournament leading up to that point.
That's absolutely fantastic. For you as a coach, how much reassurance or joy does it bring to you when you see them enjoying themselves at a competition in Belgium with Champions League music playing and seeing the lads enjoying themselves?
Oh, it's difficult to put into words just how much being involved means to me. I honestly mean it without any exaggeration at all. It's the absolute honour and privilege of my life to coach this group of young people. I look forward to Special Olympic training every Tuesday, and it's genuinely one of the highlights of my week. They're such a good group of people that absolutely love their sport and love being around each other. There's never a dull moment, and being able to go to competitions each year is just the icing on the cake. It's a brilliant aspect of it, but so much stuff goes on throughout the year that isn't going away with the Special Olympics that makes a massive difference to the athletes and their families in connecting with one another and remaining active and remaining part of a team and keeping in touch with a good circle of friends and having a consistent social group that really does change and transform lives and opportunities on the Isle of Man for this group of people.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Shall we have a quick talk with the players?
No problem. So I'll put you on to Ollie Cabernet first.
Okay.
And then Cameron's going to speak to you after. So Ollie also scored 2 goals against Arsenal.
Hello.
Hi Ollie, it's Darren from Manx Radio. How are you?
I'm alright.
I'm not too bad. How was the weekend? How was scoring against Arsenal?
It was good, yeah.
You enjoy yourself? Is it a bit of a privilege playing against big clubs and being able to score against them?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That's fantastic. Is there anything you want to say about the tournament itself, and what you learned maybe, or the experiences that you've enjoyed?
Being with friends.
That's brilliant. That's the main thing, isn't it? Is there anything else you want to mention about the tournament specifically? How was Belgium? How was playing against Juventus as well? I know that was a disappointing defeat, but it must have been great to play against them as well.
Yeah, it was very tough. I
was just telling you, very nearly equalised in the Juventus game, didn't you? And it just went over the bar, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was disappointing, but you picked yourself up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I put Cameron on?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ollie.
I'm going to put Cameron Siddle on now. Darren, really want to talk to you.
Hello.
Hi, Cameron. It's Darren from Manx Radio. How are you?
Hi.
How was the weekend? How was Belgium? How was playing against clubs like Arsenal and Juventus?
Real good. I really loved the Arsenal game, 7-2.
Yeah, that must have been amazing. Beating a club like that.
I scored 2 goals in that game.
Are you a football fan yourself? Do you support anyone?
Yeah, I'm a diehard Liverpool fan.
That must have been nice to score against Arsenal as a Liverpool fan then.
Yeah, it was.
How was the rest of the weekend? Is there anything that really stood out to you? Apart from scoring against Arsenal, How was Belgium? How was the experience of being in a different country?
It was really good, yeah. my first time away at the age of 14 and with all my friends and everything, yeah.
How important is the Special Olympics organization to you? How is Pete, helping you and, coaching you and getting you to competitions like the Champions League to play, which must be a dream.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
I also did the Sue when I scored.
Did you? As a Liverpool fan?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Cameron. Anything else you wanted to mention?
The main thing really is just to thank everybody who's ever donated, volunteered, or contributed towards the Special Olympics, because without the fundraising that goes on and without the generous Manx public, we wouldn't be able to afford to do things like this. We're a charity. We rely on the fundraising that goes on in order to be able to function and in order to be able to give people the opportunities that we have done this weekend. So yeah, just thank you to everybody.
Thank you for having the stamina to make it to the end of the Manx Radio Sportscast. You're clearly someone who has their eye on the ball at all times. Want to hear more about the latest sporting news across the Isle of Man and much more? Then might I recommend you take the plunge and subscribe to this series or a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so that, in a flash, all of our finest moments take a winner's place on your smartphone. Thank you.